So what is up, guys? We are going to go over set 11 cards that came out in Japan. I want to see if anything really changes for us when the time comes. And depending on Japan's meta going on here, they do have Jewel Knights going. But all I see is Jewel Knight is, yes, you get a booster, congrats, and then you get critical at LB4. But right now, a lot of units get critical at LB4. So I don't see how they could be so high tier for you guys, besides them getting boosters. Maybe running an occasional Blaster Blade for retire, so it feels like MLB. But anyways, guys, welcome to Set 11 overview, pretty much. A review on the Set 11 cards that released in Japan. This is a Japan video, Vanguard 0 JP, where we're going to go over these cards, see if it even makes a dent in anything remotely good, what we have in the past, and give you insight on what to expect. So, Abyssal Sniper. This is Aquaforce. First on the agenda is Aquaforce. This is Abyssal Sniper. During your turn, if you have more rear guards than your opponent, this unit gets plus 3,000 power. That's it. Just a normal common effect for the commons. Advanced Party Brave Shooter. This is a new Forerunner. When this unit is boosted, if you have one or less other rest rear guard, this unit gets plus 3,000 power. I really don't see that lasting, and those effects kind of sound awkward to me. So yeah, I don't really see that. But okay. Mobile Battleship Archelion. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, one of your units gets plus 3,000 power till the end of the turn. So pretty much this card is just Enigma Shine. Why run it? There's no point. Battle Siren Cagli. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted a unit with LB4. Put this unit into your soul and draw a card. Congrats. So it's like one of those LB things where you boost with an LB, then you draw a card. I mean, it's here and there. So Battle Siren Calista. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if it's the 4th battle of that turn or more, counterblast 1, stand one of your rear guards, and it gets plus 5,000 until the end of the turn. The only stupid part about this card is you have to hit, and the other stupid part is it's a 4th battle. By this time, my opponent definitely has hit a defense trigger where restanding anything remotely interesting isn't going to help me. Trust me on that. No, not an Aquaforce. Battle Siren Euphemia. When this unit boosts an LB4 unit, plus 3,000 power. Sure. This is the new Superior Ride Chain for Aquaforce. This just started, so we're going to be going over Ripple right now. So when you ride the G1, obviously it's the same effect like any. Look at 7 cards. G1, grab it. G2, G3, grab one or the other and put it in your hand. The G1 legit has the effect like all the new units, like what Coral had and what Artemis had. You're legit going for the grade 2 and riding it on top, so you're supposed to guarantee yourself that part of the Superior Ride Chain. But let's go over number 3 here, grade 3 Ripple. This is where things get interesting for this card. So pretty much it's an LB4. But the good thing about this is when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if you have 3 rest units in your front row, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and add a Ripple. So he looks for his Persona Blast for this limit break. At the end of the battle, Counterblast 2 and Persona Blast. Discarding him, you stand all of your rear guards. Now the best thing about this effect, it's almost like a Luminal Dragon, except with a Persona Blast for Aquaforce. So play a Luminal Dragon. But seriously, that's what this is doing. The best thing about this is, it doesn't matter where you're at in the battle phase, you just attack, everyone restands for free. And that's the beauty of it. The difference between this and Naval Gazer is Naval Gazer had a hit. This dude just has to go through a battle phase and everyone restands. So killing a PG is definitely going to be on the agenda for that, where you swing for game. So actually, Algos and Vaya can be playable with this guy due to 4th battles automatically happening due to the Persona Blast. It's really good. I like that he can actually search himself out to do a Persona Blast. So you get the restand, which is nice. Battle Siren Ketty. Put this unit to your soul. Plus 3,000 to a unit. I mean, that could be useful for, like, back in the day with, like, set 8. Like, oh, look, 3,000. Let me give that to Basil, Diamantes, and my plays don't slow down. Sure. Beat the cross-ride numbers as long as you're holding on to that unit. That's actually pretty good. Alright, Tier Knight Lucas. When this unit attacks, Counterblast 2, draw a card. Next. Aquaforce has enough filtering cards. They don't really need that. Mercenary Brave Shooter. During your turn, if you have 1 or less other rest rear guard, this unit gets power plus 3,000. No, this isn't going to work either. There's another G3 Aquaforce. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, plus 2,000 power. Emerald Shield Paschal gets an alternate art, but this alternate art is for the new PG system. So how this works is, like I said, In my set 9 video, you will understand. 3 damage, they get a 2 crit, you get pushed to 5. This won't activate until if it was going to equal 6. So 6 damage, these will activate. So they get a new Sentinel alt art, and that's that. Last card, Revonn. Now this actually caught my eye in Japan actually. When it attacks a Vanguard, if all your front row units are rest, counterblast 1, get power plus 3000 and go critical. This is pretty dang good. It's situational, but it's good. It's a crit. It's sacking PGs. You're resting units after attacking intercepts. He's going to get a critical. You're swinging for pretty much an intercept kill, or you're swinging for gain. Who knows if they have the PG? Because 2 crit is a heavy deal, and this is an LB4. Getting a crit like this is nuts, especially in Aquaforce, where back in set 7, set 8, the only set 8 was Glory getting the critical, but with this unit, you get the critical pretty much for free for C being 1. That's pretty dang good. I can see plenty of things that can surround this unit, actually. Just saying. Swimming Patrol Seal Soldier. Rest this unit, have one of your units get plus 2,000 power. This would have been great in set 8 due to cross-riding, but now that we're on break rides and everyone's sticking to 11k units, Basil and Diamantes are having a great time. Seriously. You can do some really strong pushing. Apprentice Gunner Solon. Put this unit to your soul, draw a card, and then discard a card from your hand. Just a normal plain filter. So this is the G2 Ripple, and what this does is it restands one of your rest rear guards. They get plus 3,000 power, and they restand. So the rest restands up with an extra 3k. So you need like a good 8k, 7k booster in the back, so you could swing for the high numbers of 1900. 20 is like a reach. I mean, not a lot of people are riding a 10k, but maybe with Ripple being a 10k, so on and so forth in the mirror match. But usually most units are at like 9k at max when it comes to riding a grade 2 at that point. So you should be able to guarantee yourself 2 hits with Ripple for sure. Titan of the Beam Cannon Tower is one of those LB units that no one's going to play. 5,000 power when he attacks the Vanguard, and plus 2,000 power if he's a rear guard. So I don't know why they got 2 of those. Titan of the Beam Rifle during your turn. If you have a unit with LB4, this unit gets plus 3,000 power. Whoop-de-doo. This doesn't really work out for anybody, trust me. Now this is a beauty of a unit. Very well designed, and it has to be played accordingly. Because what Transcores does he is a break ride unit. So pretty much your Vanguard's going to get an effect wherein he attacks, your opponent has to discard a random non-sentinel card from their hand, and if they don't, this unit gets critical plus 1, and your opponent's Sentinel does not activate. But obviously they're going to have a card to discard. That means their Sentinel will activate, but you won't have a PG. But the beauty of this effect is, especially I guess if you ride Ripple on top of this, the restand's going to help you. You're attacking more. They had to pitch a card, depending if they have like 3 to 4 cards in hand, and max of those 3 to 4 cards is really just maybe 1 PG or something. They would just need a card to kind of bypass it. So again, that can also be a little situation when it comes to prepping against Aquaforce. Usually when you're playing Aquaforce, your main focus was, alright, Glory is easy to block, it's just a G3, so that's why most people stuck to Blue. Because Blue let you draw a card, you had more options. But with Transcore, I feel like this would be a better Glory endgamer, because again, discarding a card and then doing the Glory crit, you still crit for the 2. So again, you can make a situation about that with this card. There's going to be a lot of wiggle room with this as well. For sure, definitely a good game changer for Aquaforce in Japan. And Twin Strike Brave Shooter, during your turn, if you have 1 or less other rear guard that is rested, and he goes up to 12k, so it's like a 12k for 1 attack thing. I can understand that, but still, come on. These rest effects aren't doing you justice. So that will conclude the Aquaforce talk for Japan here. I would say Ripple, I don't think really put a dent in, I guess you can say they're a meta, due to the fact that, yeah, Transcore is nice, Ripple is nice, but, you know, I guess if they don't get instant crits, I mean, they're kind of slow. But again, this is break ride season for you guys. I'm pretty sure Basil and Diamantes are pushing you really hard to the point where these effects do matter and they could hurt. Yeah, I think Transcore is pretty good for what it's worth. If it's like Road by Glory, maybe. Ripple is situational because, again, they can still have like 2 to 3 PGs in hand. And maybe we're knocking out 1 by then, but we'll see how the field is looking. Obviously, it always depends how your opponent plays. So now let's get into Part 2 Genesis. Now this is what I was talking about in my Set 9 video. Genesis starts to really kick when Part 2 drops. This is when we get more units to actually have more control. By control, we're going to be showing you that. So we have Mythgard Antares. When your grade 3 is placed, it gets 10,000 power. Lane. We get a new grade 0. It's called the Witch of the Prohibited Books, Cinnamon. Do you like cinnamon? When they attack by a grade 3 or greater unit, this unit boost hits a Vanguard. You put this into your soul, you soul charge until you get 2 cards without triggers, and then you return all triggers to the deck. So pretty much what the new set brings, what set 11 brought to Genesis, was selective charging. In a way, it's selective charging. You're charging 2 cards until you don't hit a trigger. And if you hit a trigger, don't worry about it. You put the triggers back in the deck, so your deck now becomes more trigger reliant. You will hit triggers, which is the beauty of this new Forerunner. It's legit helping you get to that trigger faster. So there is a lot of leeway with this. Clever Jake, when this unit attacks, counterblast 1, 4,000 power. Lame. Alright, let's talk about Fortuna, because this is a beautiful unit. Like I said, Part 2 of Genesis is when they start kicking up, and I can see why Japan's having fun with this. So what Fortunata does is, it's a limit break 4. When you drive check reveals a card without a trigger, Soul Blast 3 to add that card to your hand, and then you perform an additional drive check. But she also has a normal effect that isn't limit break. When your drive check reveals a trigger, if it's the second one this turn, perform an additional drive check. So, when your drive check reveals a trigger, if it's the second one this turn, like, somehow miraculously you're going to be the second on that second one, you perform an additional drive check. So again, you can actually drive check again. That's the whole point about the limit break, I think, because the second one this turn, if your drive check reveals trigger, it's the second one this turn. So I'm guessing this is supposed to be like a double trig thing. Like, if you hit back-to-back triggers, I guess this gives you one more drive check to the point where you do the soul blasting and you draw the card that wasn't a trigger. So Fortuna kind of plays the deck like it's a trig. Like the deck has to be trigger heavy, so Fortuna gets everything and everything off, apparently. That's how she works. Especially if her other effect is legit. If you drive check 2 cards, you do another drive check. So again, you could be adding a lot of trigger heavy to that. That's where the crits come in and all that stuff. Do not play draws again. Like I said, it's Genesis that still doesn't change. Trust me. So Fortuna's an interesting unit. I feel like she can have her own build to that, but let's move on. Cluster Hamster at the end of the battle. This unit boosted a unit with LB4. Put this in your soul draw card. Alright. Battle Maiden Kianrumi. Whatever. During your turn, if you have more rear guards than your opponent, this unit gets plus 3,000 power. So it's one of those G2 Gig Tech Maxers and stuff back in the day. They do get a new break ride, but it's a double rare. When rode upon, you counterblast 1 to have your Vanguard get plus 10,000 power, draw a card, and soul charge 3. So what's the point of running draws? There's cards legit that do it for you. So when this unit attacks a Vanguard, soul charge 1 and get plus 1,000 power. So again, you're charging legit with this card in general. You are charging like 2 cards because you do attack with this, you charge 1, you ride on top of it, you're charging 5, pretty much 5 cards actually. Believe it or not, if you think of it that way, it's like 5. It's almost like 5 cards total with this, which is nice. So again, think positive with this breaker. I think this breaker actually helps you soul charge faster than Himiko apparently, from the looks of it. Crimson Witch Radish. When it attacks, counterblast 2 and gets plus 5,000 power. What? Why would I do that? Okay. Oh, that's a grade 3. That's terrible. Don't ever get that. Witch of the Oranges. Valencia. When this card is put into your drop zone, you may soul charge. Soul charge until you get 2 cards without trigger. So pretty much like I said, set 2 of Genesis, which is set 11, the part 2 of Genesis, they get selective soul charging, period. You won't even charge triggers. You're legit going to be hitting triggers like no tomorrow with these units. That's what makes it a crazy deck, period. They have so much charging, like the cards that need to go in the soul, which is your Ravens, your White Ravens, and the Water Lake Owl, or whatever that grade 1 was, will come back to the field and you'll be able to do all your effects with the soul blasting. So again, this is a very important unit too. Vivid Rabbit, put counterblast 1, put this unit to your soul, like the top. Oh, so they have a G3 searcher. Let's talk about Exodia here real quick. Sorry. Yeah, Yatagarasu is actually one of the most interesting and not most unique, actually, Vanguards in Zero till this day, actually. Till this day, right now, in set 11 in Japan, this is probably one of the most craziest units. I think I have the honor of reading and actually going to be playing soon in the near future. So what some of my Yatagarasu does, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, you Soul Blast 9, you draw 2 cards, you stand 2 of your rear guards, and you go critical +2 until the end of the battle. There's a lot you can do with this, especially a Soul Blast 9. Soul Blasting 9 legit gets you to your triggers faster. Soul Blast 9 summons your Ravens, your G1s, you're setting up extra attacks, legit gaming your opponent. She sets you up perfectly, especially with the 2 restands, and restanding is godly in this game for when you have to attack your opponent. And since you don't have to hit to restand, that's what makes this effect even better. But she also has a good passive effect. During your opponent's turn, you activated a Sentinel, and retire rear guards are put into your soul instead of your drop zone. So legit, you restock. If you were going to die, say you had like 2 PGs, and 2 PGs activated, go into the soul. Go into the soul. Your 2 units that were going to die, your Raven, all that, goes to the soul. Goes to the soul. And then this is where you would ride Izanagi from set 9, retire the entire front row and go for game. I feel like Genesis legit hits the highest peak with Yatagarasu, and it really does show with what their effects are all about with the Soul Blasting. Definitely could consider that like tier 1 approval. Like honestly, this shouldn't exist, but it does, and it's beautiful. She also has a Persona Blast. You legit Soul Blast 1, and then you Soul Charge 3. So no matter what, it's going to be a 4 card if you even ride Yatagarasu on top of it. Or anything, if you ride another one on top of it. Who knows? It depends how you play it. I mean, you wouldn't ride another one on top of it, but you would ride Izanagi to retire all intercepts in the front row and you go for game, period. That's the point of the crit build. So yeah, that's what I like about this unit, the restand, everything. Genesis in set 11, I feel like is very good high tier. Due to the fact the Soul Blasting 9 is great, and if you have a crit deck, you're legit killing your opponent as fast as you can. I mean, there's no way you won't hit a crit because of A, you legit have soul cards now that legit say, oh, charge, if this card gets blasted, charge 2, pretty much, and then boom, until you don't hit a trigger, triggers go back. You're more likely going to be hitting triggers. I should actually just say, you're likely to hit a trigger like 90% of the time when it comes to this type of build, the type of Genesis build like this. You are 90% going to hit a trigger. That's what makes them really good. I feel like they're always going to hit. There is no way this deck doesn't hit you every turn. Like, every attack is just flawless. Everything works. You're never going to be behind on juice or power because of the triggers. Yeah, no. This deck smacks. For sure. So we come to our conclusion on Genesis. Definitely still a strong build in the near future for us. That's great. I really hope most of you guys test that guy out in Japan. Yatagarasu is a really dope unit for that Soul Blasting 9. And if you have your Ravens, you have your Souls, you have all the Soul cards that if they get blasted, tons of effects start blowing up. That's actually pretty good. It's awesome. Now, let's go over some... Whew, it's been a while. Kageroes. This is when we get our ultimate Sealed Dragon units. Okay. Let's get started. Hellfire, Sealed Dragon, Blockade Inferno. If your soul has 2 or more Sealed Dragons, you can blast 2, get plus 10,000 power until the end of the turn, and retire all of your opponent's grade 2 rear guards. If 3 or more were retired, you draw a card. Trust me, this effect is very doable, but again, we'll tell you how in a second. So we have Chain Blast Dragon. It's a limit break 4. You counterblast 1, discard 2 grade 3 or greater cards from your hand to retire 3 of your opponent's rear guards. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, retire a rear guard to look at the top 5 cards of your top deck. Add a grade 3 or greater card to your hand. Chain Blast is actually pretty interesting for what it's worth. He turns your Morikawa hand into a retiree field. So legit retiring 3 cards on the field, legit destroying all intercept qualities is, not gonna lie, that's actually pretty good. If you can pull this off, it's definitely doable, especially with Draw Turbo. I can see it. Dauntless Drive Dragon, the other tripleware of this set. When this card is rode upon, 10,000 power, and then your Vanguard gets this awesome effect. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked, counterblast 1, discard 3 cards from your hand to stand it and draw 2 cards. So pretty much you're pitching garbage to get pretty much 2 new cards back to your hand. And that's the beauty of Dauntless Drive. So with Dauntless Drive, you're pretty much running this with the End. Very old set card. The End's going to have a lot of restand qualities, especially with the Persona blasting. Plus Dauntless Drive is only CB1, so the max you're only going to need is legit a CB3 to perform the ultimate combo. So yeah, I don't think that's very hard to micromanage. It's like you don't even use Overlord anymore. It's legit that and you're done. Apparently kageroes get a new Forerunner. At the end of the battle, this unit boosts a unit, LB4, put this in your soul, draw a card, so it's one of the draw units. Egg Prison Seal Dragon Knight. Put this unit into your soul, draw a card, and discard a card from your hand. Don't use that. Bad. Just don't. Explosive Claw Seal Dragon Knight. During your turn, if your opponent has a grade 2 unit, this unit gets 3,000 power, so apparently it's supposed to smack 9,000 units. They're really just responding to G2s, which I understand, but still. Demonic Dragon Berserker Gandharva. No one's going to use that. It's just 5,000 and 2,000 power as a rear. Demonic Dragon Berserker. It's one of those LB4 units where if you have an LB4, it becomes an 11k beatstick. Breath of Origin Rolamandri. Oh, so kageroes actually get their self-damager. So this self-damager is mostly for that Chain Burst Dragon we went over, and Seal Blockade Dragon we went over as well. The faster we retire the Gs, the better. But I don't think we were going to use Chain Dragon anyways. We're just going to go Seal Blockade, self-damage ourselves, retire those G2s. Those are gone. We're swinging for a game. I mean, Seal Blockade just is going to be is actually really stupid for what it's worth. I mean, killing free intercepts. They don't even get replaced when Hellfire does it. So self-damaging yourself to do that effect is pretty stupid. It's going to be godly. I mean, what can you do about that? That's like free. That's like, kageroes is almost the equivalent of Narukami, except I feel like Seal Dragons do it better. Demonic Dragon Mage Sagara. When this unit boosts a unit, LB4 gets plus 3,000 power. Seal Dragon Chambray. When this unit boosts a blockade, so blast 1 and plus 4,000 power. So it's a 10k booster for blockade. No one's going to use that. Alright, so this is a double rare you're going to need 4 of. When placed, if your Vanguard is a Seal Dragon, counterblast 1 to retire one of your opponent's rear guards. Your opponent looks at the top 4 cards of their deck, choose a random grade 2, and calls it to the same rear guard circle. Your abilities do not activate from this effect. So, what's the best thing about this card? It's kind of funny when you think about it. You retire their Forerunner, wherever that guy is, and it has to stay in back of the Vanguard. So they already lost a G2 already for that being in the back. That's kind of ridiculous. Let's be real for a sec. That's amazing. Kind of busted, but amazing at the same time. So you definitely got to play Seal Dragons like any other deck. Kill, 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 snipe, snipe, snipe. Just, you have to game them quick or you're going to die for sure. Flamestar Seal Dragon Knight. If your Vanguard's a Seal Dragon, counterblast 2 to have all your opponent's units lose intercept until the end of the turn. So there is a way to even stop intercepts too. So it's like a Seal Dragon apparently. It's blockade as a grade 2. No more seals. I mean, intercepts are gone. kageroes start swinging. It's pretty good if you have your boosters prepped. Oh, I don't know why this is here. Which of the graves, when this drops them, you may soul search until you get 2 cards without triggers. So they have a grade 2 version of that for Genesis. Ignore that. So there's another grade 2 that does the same soul effect. Alright. So Seal Dragon Flannel. During your turn, if your Vanguard is a Seal Dragon, this unit gets plus 3,000 power. Alright, that's worthless. Seal Dragon Hunger Hell Dragon. So pretty much you have to have the Seal Dragons, so at least there's 2 in the soul for Hellfire to do his effect. Seal Dragon Jacquard is a 12k unit just for your Seal Dragon. It's any Seal Dragon, right? Yep. Seal Dragon Curtsy. When placed, if your opponent has a grade 2 unit, you may discard a card from your hand to draw a card. They're really trying to play to the elements of the clan speech there. Seal Dragon Rhino Cross. This is that new Sentinel. You get pushed to 5, that's it. You don't die. You will die at 6 though, but 5 if you got hit by a crit and you were at 3. Same story. So that's their new Sentinel unit. kageroes will be getting that set. Seal Dragon Spike Hell Dragon. When this unit is boosted, it gets plus 3,000 power until the end of battle. Seal Dragon Terrycloth. We get an amazing new kagero Forerunner. If your Vanguard is a Seal Dragon, you counterblast 1, you put this into your soul, retire one of your opponent's rear guards. Your opponent has to look at the top card cards of their deck, choose a random G2, and call it to the same RC circle. Your opponent's abilities do not activate from this effect. This is why I like these Seal Dragons. They're force hit, so if you put the Forerunner in the back, it's going to stay back there. And if we want to kill more of their boosters, we kill their boosters, let them keep their intercepts, and we just smack every intercept with Blockade, and Blockade lets you get the draw card. There are many ways to keep your opponent heavy on his G2 plays, for sure. Without a doubt in my mind. It's crazy. Vorpal Cannon Dragon. When this unit attacks Vanguard, it gets 5,000 power. When placed, counterblast 2, retire one of your opponent's grade 2 or less rear guards. Okay. It's not the best, but alright. No one's going to use that. So we get a grade 2 self-damager. So again, Seal Blockade activates fast, and you're just zoom, zoom. Kill, kill. Believe it or not, we got another triple. We got a triple rare for this one too. It wasn't just we got 3 new Kagero triple rares instead of 11. That's pretty nuts. So we got Hellfire, Steel Dragon, Weathercloth. When rode upon, your Vanguard gets plus 10,000 power until the end of the turn. You retire 2 of your opponent's rear guards. Your opponent looks at the 4 cards on the top of their deck, choose 2 random grade 2s, and calls them to the same circle. Wow. That's crazy. That's really ridiculous. So you pretty much kill the front row, or you kill the back row, but pretty much you kill in the front row. And if there's no G2, and that's the other thing you gotta realize about the Seal Dragons, that make them really stupid. If there isn't a G2, then your opponent gets nothing. They legit lost their G2s for free. They couldn't get a replacement. Oh yeah, that's too much open field. These guys are going to be attacking constantly, and that is way too godly in the 0 format. That's a fact. So, kageroes legit get a huge boost in, like, killing when set 11 drops, for sure. That will conclude for kageroes. It's amazing how far kageroes will be coming by set 11. I mean, you guys are probably having a great time, but oh my god, Seal Dragons seems so ridiculous. The fact that they're not even on your top tier list drives me nuts, because how? All that killing, all that free sacking, all that free attacking is nuts already. Naru's already had that. Kagero just adapted it even more to their playstyle of killing. Yeah, there's a lot going on there, I'll tell you. Anyways. Now, the last thing that did release in set 11 were some more Narukami cards for you guys. So we're going to go over some more Narus, see if you have to worry about it in the future. If not, we'll let you know. So let's start things off with Armor Break Dragon. Counterblast 3, discard 3, retire all front row rear guards, including yours, and get power plus, wow, 10,000 power plus 2 critical. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, oh wow. So Armor Break is, that's an interesting unit, but 3's pretty heavy. Counterblasting 3 is heavy, and discarding 3 from your hand is heavy. I mean, you might as well just play the Blood. If you want a CB3, you can get a free crit like that. All you really need 2. I feel like 3 could be overkill. So that unit's not as good, you know? Bullet Axe Dragoon, when this unit attacks, counterblast 1, plus 4,000 power. It's one of those lame 8k units. Flag of Rising Corpusant, put this unit into your soul to have one of your units get plus 3,000 power to the end of the turn. No one's going to run that. She seems to appear a lot. Additioning the Thunderbreak at the end of the battle that this unit boosted a unit with LB4, you throw this in the soul, you draw a card. Alright, this is a new Eradicator Forerunner to compensate the new Sweep Commander. So, the point of Draco Kit is, when your opponent's rear guard is retired by your card effect, if your Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater Eradicator, put this unit into your soul, look at the top 10 cards of your deck, and then you write Sweep Dragon. That's crazy. And it gets plus 5,000 power till the end of turn. If rode during the battle phase, draw 2 cards. So, if your Vanguards are great... So, this card's actually interesting and actually could give you an extra attack, mind you. So, it's pretty much saying that. I mean, when your opponent's rear guard is retired by your card effect, if your Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, put this in your soul. And the fact that there is a way to do it during battle phase just says it even more. So, it's legit an extra free attack with the Vanguard. So, another double drive check. Wow, like, I mean, can Eradicators stop being so good for, like, 2 seconds, just 2 seconds. We got a story unit, I guess. Stone Bullet Eradicator Hoki. It looks like it only takes story mode. Lizard Soldier Royoshin. During your turn, if your opponent has 2 or less rear guards, gets plus 3,000, whatever. Eradicator Sparkhorn Dragon. When this unit attacks, it gets 5,000 power. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, counterblast 1 to retire one of your rear guards, one of your opponent's rear guards at random with priority to the back. So this is how you kind of trigger Sweep Commander because it legit set on attack. So with this 5k unit boosting this, Sweep Commander is going to be able to come out. And we haven't even discussed what Sweep Commander can do yet, but the fact that we're going to be able to draw 2 cards for this heavy type combo is actually nuts enough. So we get Assassin Sword, Eradicator, Sisui. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, you counterblast to retire one of your opponent's rear guards. So again, there's a lot of ways to do the effect. If your Vanguard attacked and you got your draw triggers out, you can do it the other way around. You get an extra attack and GG's. There's a way to get double attacks, and that's all I can say. They definitely made units that compensate Sweep Command's effect, which I like. So it's almost like playing a different type of Eradicator build that isn't involved around Descendant, Gauntlet, Vowing Sword. Alright, here we go. Eradicator Sweep Command Dragon. Limit break 4. When your opponent's rear guard is retired by your card effect, Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 2, draw a card, retire one of your opponent's rear guards, and get plus 5,000 power. When plays, put an Eradicator rear guard into your soul to retire one of your opponent's rear guards. So pretty much, Sweep Command is doing what his name says. He's cleaning up the field. He's doing work. He's just denying you every step of the way, pretty much. He's like, you're not going to have boosters, you're not going to have this, and you're not going to have that. The fact that they have units that kind of kill, they kill the back row, is interesting enough that it will work for you in the end with the new Forerunner. Especially with the 9k unit that can set you up. I mean, Assassin Sword Araki Zisui legit sets up the dragon if you put it in the back row, and you're playing kind of draw turbo-y, you can definitely get away with murder here. For sure, you can, because it says retire one of your opponent's rear guards. You can be anywhere. He didn't even say front row, he said anywhere. So that makes it really good. This is just huge middle fingers to Aquaforce as well, because if Aquaforce doesn't get their boosters, if they don't micromanage anything, they are dead. They need their boosters, they need stuff, they need their Abyssal Sniper, and with these new cards that say you can go anywhere and retire, they're screwed. This actually added a new sense of killing, pretty much. Especially if this kills back row. So Basil and Diamantes legit died because of this. Crazy how far Eradicators come just to kill the Aquaforce clan. Wish Granting Genie. Put your soul, draw a card, and then discard a card from your hand. So that is the last card of set 11. I gotta say, Japan, you got a lot of good stuff here. I can't wait to experience it myself. Eradicator First Thunder Draco Kit is a great Forerunner in my opinion. That is extra, and you get a draw card, so you can definitely change your trigger build up if you need to. There's definitely ways around it. Restands, this, that, extra juice, extra power. Oh yeah, there's a lot you can do with that deck. I can see it. Witching of the Graves appearing out of nowhere twice, but she's a good unit in your Genesis builds, guys. She also does the selective soul charging as well, put the triggers back. So you definitely will have your G2 lineup changed a lot when that set comes. But yeah, these Narukami units, pretty good. Armor Breaker, too much. Hellfire Steel Dragon. The fact that kageroes got pretty much 2 Break Right units in one set, plus Hellfire Inferno Dragon, Steel Dragons already look nuts already. They already look tier 1-y as hell. The fact that you are playing a coin game with your opponent with the G2s on top deck and legit killing their G2 so they have no defense further down the road is already killing them immensely. Like, you killing every G2 they get just means you have bigger plays for the last setup on attacks. It's ridiculous. It really is. Even Flamestar Steel Dragon saying as long as you have a Steel Dragon, intercepts are ignored. So you can even ignore the intercepts for a turn. Then Hellfire does his effect. It's such a mind game when it's going to come to Steel Dragons. Let me tell you, it's crazy. I see it. It's a ridiculous clan. I really feel like they feel like, actually they do feel like tier 1 because of that. I'm sorry. You can't prove me wrong on that. Things that kill, retire, and give you free attacks is too godly in the 0 format. I'm sorry. Dauntless getting restands, this was obviously made for DOTE. It's going to be stupid. The restand, Persona Blast on the 4th damage, restand with Dauntless, that's like 2 attacks on the PG right there. If your opponent has like absolutely nothing going for them, yeah, why not? Seriously, it's crazy. It really is. Dauntless Drive definitely changes my mind a lot about a lot of things. Chain Blast Dragon, yeah. Hellfire Steel Dragon, just too good now, especially with the self-damagers now. If you have self-damagers, this is so free. It's way too free, especially when you heal out of this after you've self-damaged yourself. The fact that you're rebuilding your CB is already... I really can't explain. It's so godly, especially with Hellfire Blockade just says no, you lose your intercepts. That's it. No, none come back. You legit just cleaned them up. Yatagarasu is definitely a god card to me. If you play it just right with the soul, the selective soul charging, getting the right trigger sack, you could do so much with this deck. It is already crazy enough as it is. Holy crap. It's like the fact that you have Raven and stuff coming out of the soul for extra attacks. That's like 3 extra attacks on the Vanguard. And that's not even including the Water Lake Lady that gets to be a 10k booster that swings over those 2100 numbers anyways. And that's not even counting triggers too. Like, oh my god, this unit is so stupid. It's like guaranteed win if you play it. It really is. I'm not even joking. It's ridiculous. Wisdom Keeper definitely is going to be the new break ride. I mean, for Yatagarasu for sure. I mean, 5 soul charge, you're done. You have the effect. You are set. Self-damage yourself. Do it. You can replace that self-damager with the 7k anyways. Oh my god, I can't with this. Like, Genesis just looks really sexy in Japan, I'm not gonna lie. Fortuna is just interesting too. I mean, seriously. It was the second one this turn before an additional dry check. It's legit saying if you did 2 dry, if you hit like 2 crits, perform one more check, get an extra one, or if it's not a trigger, add it to your hand. Ah, yeah, why not? The only issue with this is always going to be if you soul charge your PGs. Obviously, you just need 1 PG to live. 1 to 2 PGs, because your intercept game is legit all Raven. Seriously. It's crazy. It really is. And Aquaforce, I just feel like no matter what, Aquaforce will always be like good in their own way with the Basils and the Montes, but now with Seal Dragons around, and the Naru's getting stronger. Seal Dragons, Narus, I mean, those are legit possibly one of their worst matchups. Definitely probably one of their worst matchups. They cannot handle... They need all the units they can get. They have a lot of key pieces, and if they keep dying, and they can't... And Aquaforce doesn't get their draw triggers or keep up with it, yeah, they're dead. That's why Ripple... As good as Ripple is, it did not compare to what those other units can do. I mean, yes, restanding is nice, but it's like... Killing, sacking is just too busted. It's too busted in the 0 format. Killing intercepts is big because it's free attacks. So my impression on set 11 actually changing the meta, it really did, if you think about it. Especially in Japan. Like, really bear with me here. Genesis got a unit that legit goes critical 3, and legit a Soul Blast 9 summoning any of the Ravens and the G1s, and you get a selective soul charge, you get your triggers. It's pretty much game there. It's like kind of ridiculous. You don't want to draw triggers. All I know is you gotta just keep soul charged until your units are ready, and that's how Genesis works. I mean, Genesis is really good if you can control it. Genesis is probably like one of the only decks like you could lose control, but in reality, the cards that activate when you soul blast them, you have full control of that match. It's nuts. It's already nuts already. It really is. Especially Naru, I would say out of all set 11, Kageroes got like at least updated, upgraded on the list. Naru's kind of got an update, not like a big one, but they already have Descendant and all that, and they already have like good units from set 9 still going. And Kageroes legit skyrocketed. I just honestly feel like when it comes to freaking... Yeah, I'll just leave it like this. I'm done talking. When it comes to, like, set 11, I don't think there's much of a change. It was really nice doing this video. I gotta say, it's awesome that to see Japan do their thing, see how their cards would change, is a big deal. So, I'm looking forward to set 11 for sure. We got a couple months in America for that, but Japan, you got a really good set there. Kind of jealous that I don't get to, like, test these cards yet myself, but every card already looks top tier already, and set 11 is like full top tier. Your Jewel Knights, I feel like, doesn't compare to what the Seals can do. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. No. You can have your boosters, that's fine. You get a free crit, that's fine. Seals is legit almost the same thing, they just don't get a crit. They're just killing your intercepts and they're going for game. Pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Be good. Stay safe. Yandu. I'm outie. So that was set 11 review. Peace.